So good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another album review of The Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host Hector, and today we're gonna talk about the brand new album by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. And this is a band from Australia that is very hard to pigeonhole because they have done so many genres, and this is their 24th album. That's a lot of fucking albums. And the name of this new album is PetroDragonic Apocalypse, or Dawn of Eternal Night, an annihilation of planet Earth and the beginning of merciless damnation. That's a handful, a mouthful, I'm sorry. We're just gonna, this is the new album, PetroDragonic, and on this album, they go back to what they did in an album that they released a few years ago. I think it was something in the Den of Rats, if I'm not mistaken. And that was more thrash metal. But this album, after that they released prog, they released folk, they released even some like electronic. They're a mixture. They're a band that you can't say they have a sound because they keep dabbling and experimenting. But on this one, even though there's thrash metal elements to this album, there's a lot of progressive psychedelic rock to it. So it's a mixture, and it's 7 songs and it's 48 minutes. And something that I really like about this album is the vocals. They remind me a lot of like Lemmy from Motorhead, especially in the way that the song is, they sing it and they spit it out. It really reminds me of Motorhead, but with again 70s prog experimentation. So there's songs on this album like Supercell that are more thrash metal, 5 minutes, and they rely a lot on the supercell and like very fast riffing. But then you have songs in it like Motor Spirit that opens the album, Witchcraft, that really dabble in psychedelic progressive elements, especially Witchcraft. It goes from the conversion to that one like flawlessly. And on Witchcraft, there's a part where the guitars get very ethereal and very trippy. So it's not all thrash metal all the time. And these subtle changes makes it an interesting listen because it's not like sometimes with thrash metal, every song can have like a great riffing, but it can sound like stale and similar. But what King Gizzard does is like they blend so many elements that it makes it interesting because it's a very different type of thrash metal. It's not like what people could say like straight to the point thrash metal, with the styles that they do and the experimenting. For example, they do it on the last 3 tracks, Kill a Monster, Dragon, Flamethrower. There's lots of experimentation and twists and turns and changes in the music. For example, Flamethrower, that finishes the album, in the halfway mark, there's like this tribal drum type of beat that it sounds like something like very from the Aborigines in Australia, and it's really good. And it keeps the flow of the song from being like purely like heavy thrash metal to more experimental, and then it goes into some really psychedelic, like you hear like a piano, Sims, the guitars, really spacey, and the album ends like you are on an acid trip all of a sudden. But on songs like Dragon, when they go with the chorus where they're like Dragon, Dragon, it gets very thrash metal, but again, they do changes in the music that really takes, it's unexpected. Sometimes you don't expect a song to go from one point to another, and the changes can catch you off guard like it did me. But yeah, I think the 7 songs are great. I think something that also is good about this album is the flow. Every song flows into the other seamlessly, and it doesn't seem like it's an effort. And also you can tell that the song is different, but like there's never like a quick stop. The music always keeps flowing. So sometimes it feels like it's a super long track, and that's something that this band has done in the past. I can't say that I'm always being a fan of what they do, because there's sometimes that I'm like, okay, I get it. You like to experiment, but On this one, I like it because it has that fresh element with some experimentation and psychedelic rock, and they do it in a way that it blends together and it does not seem out of place. So I like it. It's different, and it keeps you like on your toes on like, what is this band going to do next? 24 releases and they're still going strong. They're a band that I don't always love what they put out, but I fucking respect them because they're great musicians. So what did you think of this new King, Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard album, PetroDragonic? I'm not gonna say the whole fucking title. What are your favorite tracks? And are you a fan of this band? Like, if you never listened to them, you can pick. There's 24 albums, and no album sounds similar, because the other one that was thrash metal, it was thrash metal, but it didn't have a lot of experimentation like on this one. So I think I like this one better because they experimented thrash metal with progressive psychedelic elements. So if you like the videos that I'm putting out, do not forget to subscribe and do not forget to give me a like. This helps me with the YouTube algorithm and more people can watch my content. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. So until next time, people, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and good night.